we want to find the solutions. We want to be problem solvers, not problem finders. So we showed up Monday to start working, started with a demo, and we were planning on materials to start framing delivered Tuesday to start Wednesday. And they said, yeah, it's going to be here Thursday, maybe Friday. So I was calling around. I was like, where can we get the materials? I mean, nobody in Columbus. I'm like, no. Somebody has them somewhere. Where are they? They're in Lexington, Kentucky. Like, that's the closest place that has it. It's like 3.5, 4 hours away. Like, okay, I'm going to drive to Lexington.
There's like a chasm between the two because it almost seems as though nobody wants to do that extra thing. And so people don't, like, the moment there's adversity, people are just like, all right, well, we can't do anything about that.
There's a fine line between crazy and being willing to do the unconventional thing.
Yeah.
To meet your deadline.
We're here in beautiful Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
Which is home of the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
A little bit less beautiful, I would say.
I'm not personally a fan. Some people like that.
There are worse teams than the Buckeyes, but not a lot. Not a lot. Thankfully, there's no one else in here. Otherwise, we might.
Yeah. Yeah. We will get killed. Yeah.
Dude, so what the heck are we doing in Columbus, Ohio?
This is not much. We're just doing demo and partition wall. It's for landlord.
Okay.
So there's inside construction, there's all these little pockets. We typically do a lot of tenant work. So that's if the space, and that's when we were down in Miami, we were doing that. Like, we're building out that space for the tenant.
Yeah.
This is for the landlord. So there's a bigger box, and now they're making it into 2 boxes.
Okay. So essentially it's a big store that they're turning into potentially other stores, or a specific store that needed a certain space redone or something like that.
Yeah, they're just dividing it. I forget who they're renting it out, but it used to be a Joann's. They're dividing it in 2 spaces, renting one half to one company and the other half to another company.
Yeah.
So we're doing the landlord stuff, which is a bunch of demo, scraping the floor, and just one big partition wall right down the middle.
So yeah, the last place we were in was in Miami.
Yeah.
Very, I mean, it was a little rainy.
I like the weather better than
it was warm. It was not, it's literally 12 degrees outside right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think it was -2 this morning when I woke up. Yeah.
That's insane. You're from Virginia. I'm like a little further south in North Carolina. And that is like not.
Yeah.
We were talking about it. I don't have like weather, like gear for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I don't have shoes that is appropriate for 2-degree weather.
Yeah. And to Ohio's defense, I think it's not typically this cold.
Right.
But it's crazy. Like, just a few hours north, how much quicker it gets. It's cold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but we go where the job takes us.
Yeah. Thankfully, we're inside right now.
So next job hopefully is maybe California, Southern California, maybe some Pacific island somewhere.
Puerto Rico.
Something.
Yeah.
But so this is a kind of a unique thing. I wanted to talk a little bit about kind of some of, like, obviously we have the space to ourselves right now.
Yeah.
Which is, in an ideal construction project, this is not possible because work is happening, things are going, stuff is like, it's loud, it's noisy, stuff is getting done. Right now, we're in a bit of a holdup.
Yeah, we got a day and a half delay. We're waiting for materials.
Which is like, relatively common. We got to get some of that stuff done.
Yeah.
Any situation that you have to get materials yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You try to make that happen.
Oh, yeah. They were telling us, so we showed up Monday to start working, started with a demo, and we were planning on materials to start framing delivered Tuesday to start Wednesday. And they said, yeah, it's going to be here Thursday, maybe Friday. And we're like, oh, shoot. So I was calling around. I was like, where can we get the materials? And it's an 8-inch stud. It's metal studs. And they're like,
which in their defense, like, and this part of the cold weather, it's like massive ice storm, snowstorm that's been sweet. Like, so I'm sure it's just hitting a halt on like just deliveries and anything else. Like, there's some things that are just completely unavoidable.
Yeah. Yeah. So they said nobody has them. I'm like, what do you mean nobody? Like, Pittsburgh, the Steelers, they got steel. Like, he's like, oh, you mean nobody in Columbus. I'm like, no. Somebody has them somewhere. Where are they? And he said they're in Lexington, Kentucky. Like, that's the closest place that has it. It's like 3.5, 4 hours away. Like, okay, I'm going to drive to Lexington.
Yeah.
So I drove to Lexington, loaded up the truck with the track for the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, the studs are 25 feet. So wasn't able to fit those in the truck, but gave them something to do for a day and a half, and fresh materials come tomorrow.
Which is just essentially the idea in a lot. And I think that kind of highlights some of the difference in a lot of places. Like, so it seems like in typical construction projects or whatever project, renovation, anything, that the idea is that if a break happens, it's kind of a blessing for a lot of times. The contractors, they're like, oh, sorry, can't do anything. It's like, no, we're going to find something to do. We can do something here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah. And we don't want to blow the budget by doing busy work either. That's the other trade-off, right? So I don't want to have the guys just pushing a broom for a couple of days. I want them to be doing something that moves the project forward. So that's where I was like, yeah, I'll just
Load up the trucks.
Yeah. So I was there. I forget what it was. I think it was, I basically drove, I got up at 10 p.m. Monday night to drive down to Lexington, got there early. I got a Tesla, so I charged my truck and was ready to go. Showed up at 6:31 a.m. to load up the materials and drive back because I don't want to miss a day. And the funny thing is, he was beating, he got a scrap 2x4. He was beating the ice and snow off the...
He was not expecting somebody to show up in a cyber truck and said, okay, you want what? Okay, I guess.
Yeah,
I got to get somebody, got to get a blow dryer or something to all this stuff out.
Yeah, I mean, I give him props. He's willing. There's a fine line between crazy and being willing to do the unconventional thing to meet your deadline. But after we finally got it all loaded up, the thought hit me. It's like, what if, like, I didn't measure these. What if these aren't 8 inches? So I got out, I just got a tape measure, got out and measured them. Sure enough, they were 8 inches, which was great.
Very clutch. But at that point,
I wanted to double check it because I did not want to do all that work and then actually put a tape measure on it.
Yeah, which is like, I mean, obviously, like, I think that's an interesting thing. You say that it's a fine line between like insanity, crazy, and like go an extra mile almost.
Yeah.
And I think that is a kind of an interesting concept because I think that line has like widened, so to speak. It's like, it used to be a fine line. Now it's like, there's like a chasm between the two because it almost seems as though nobody wants to do that extra thing. And so people don't, like, the moment there's adversity, people are just like, all right, well, we can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, what can we do to help fix this? We've run into this before with just projects in general, rollouts in general, where it's, well, this is what we have to charge you. And we can only do this spot. We can only do this location. We can only do whatever. Whereas you will say, well, wait a minute. I'm going to look at this a little bit and I'm going to like come up with something.
Yeah. I might try to coach our team, communicate with our team the same message all the time. It's like, we want to find the solutions. We want to be problem solvers, not problem finders.
Yeah.
So many times, like, oh, sorry, boss, can't work today. It's snowing, or, sorry, I don't have a pipe. It's like, well, did you go go buy a pipe, go buy the part, Google the model number. Like, don't stop when you reach every speed bump.
Right.
That means you maybe need to slow down and navigate it safely.
Yeah, exactly.
But that doesn't mean we stop.
Yeah.
Like even a brick wall. Yeah. We stop a brick wall and then we figure out, okay, do we want to go left? Do we want to go right? Do we want to go up? Do we want to go through it? Like there's still solutions. It's not just go to brick wall and stop and die.
Yeah. Yeah. Which I mean, I just think that's such a common thing. And I think it's almost like there's this is kind of like, two guys philosophizing, flossing, thinking about the bigger pictures of life.
Yeah.
But like, I think that there's always the two ditches that people follow to, like the two extremes. Like, and the thing that separates anybody from like, it's like success and like fixing something, problem solving is that like, how do we find that middle thing that can push things forward? Because I think for the longest time, it seems like there was one of two things. It's like, well, there's a problem, so we're going to stop. Or we're going to get really, we're going to sacrifice quality to try to fix a problem that, like, now the client's paying for it because we just piece together some nonsense. Whether it's like, say we couldn't find the framing, so we're going to create our own frame.
Yeah, we're going to do it from 2x4s or something.
We're going to put something that's completely not up to specs or something like that.
Right.
And so I think there is that balance of like, okay, we're gonna find a solution that still matches the quality of what we're trying to do. Again, it all goes back to the client.
Yeah.
We're doing this for the client and for the client's client, so that when the finished product is there, It's like, hey, we're good. Like everything's good. Everything's great. On time, all those things.
Yeah. It has to be to spec, has to be the minimum viable product. Like it has to be what the client wants. There's some trade-offs, but yeah, you don't want to fall into a different problem. You don't want to solve a problem by a problem. Right?
Exactly.
It is walking a line. I think people, they think that it's more comfortable in the extremes. It's like, I'll just go to this extreme. Well, that's trouble. They go to the extreme. Well, that's trouble too. Like it is walking a line. I think it's a group effort to walk the line too. Because I rely on people to tell me when I'm being too crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. And it happens.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah. It happens sometimes. It's like, hey, I don't know about that.
And but that's the give and the take. It's a lot of my responsibility is pushing the boundaries of what could and should be done.
Yeah.
And then other people, it's a lot of their responsibility to say, okay, well, but we need a cohesive system. Like we need to be able to automate.
Which I think that's always great too. It's just the team itself too. Because it's training the team at whatever projects that team is on to have that mindset of, hey, I'm going to find a solution to any given problem. Also, I'm going to, if you're jumping in and being like, hey, I'm going to do all this, they can be boots on the ground and say, hey, look, I know that might sound great, but like, I think we're going to lose quality here.
Yeah.
And so it is that kind of training of the team. And I think the team does a great job of that in a lot of ways of just like finding that balance. And then also being able to say like, hey, we're not going to produce a inferior product by any means.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the weird thing is like, it's energizing. I don't know if it's weird, but just the ironic thing, the thing that teases my brain is it's energizing to do the hard thing more. So you would think like you do the hard thing, it would be draining.
Yeah.
But when you have a team and the team collectively does the hard thing, the same time that I was driving to Lexington, we had, again, having a little bit of downtime, like we're not at downtime, we're moving a little bit, adjusting. One of our guys was willing to go do like just a small tile, again, 3 hours from here.
Yeah.
In outside Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, okay, I'll be flexible. So it made it energizing. Like he's driving to Indiana, I'm driving to Kentucky. We're going to knock out these two things and we're going to come back together and then do these things.
And nobody just sitting around doing nothing.
Yeah. No.
And because again, the client is the one that pays for that.
Yeah.
Ultimately, because it's like, we can either, not charge the client for work that we're not doing. We can just kind of try to BS it a little bit and say like, well, we have to be here, but we have to charge. It's like, no, like we're going to think holistically about everything and say, hey, like, look, we got two guys that stay here. They're going to get everything prepped and ready to go. One of the guys is going to go here. Like there's just a lot of moving parts in that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we're always looking for win-wins, right? So that's, we do good when our client does good. Our client does good when we do good. It's got to be a win-win. We're going to work together.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Which I think a lot of that like problem solving things stems from, it stems from a lot of places. I don't know that we have the therapy degrees to go down into that. But I will say, so we're obviously brothers. And one of the first places we started working in just like construction and things like that was our old summer jobs.
Oh man.
And like, our boss.
We did some crazy stuff.
Our boss, he didn't even have a truck. He had a 2005 Chevy Cavalier.
With a sunroof.
With a sunroof. Most people see that, they go to Lowe's and they're like, I'm going to have to rent a truck. I'm going to have to pay this much. Not that guy. That guy said that I don't see any reason why I can't fit 2x4s, plywood, anything in that vehicle or on that vehicle or through that vehicle as possible.
And I learned a lot from that.
He learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
Some of that is what not to do. Sometimes you buy a truck.
Which he did get a truck eventually.
He finally got a truck eventually, which is great. And then, push the limit of that truck and things like that. So, but I think it's, it's just interesting, like that mindset of rolling into, hey, here's a problem. Let's solve it. So with that in mind, there's a lot of problems, a lot of common problems that end up arising within the construction space.
Yeah.
Specifically, let's say, because a lot of what we want to do is like, we want to help growing businesses that are expanding. We want to help them in like their brick and mortar, their physical needs and requirements of spaces and things like that. So with expansion though, there's hurdles that we have to jump through, we have to work through, problem solve. Like what do you do if you have something, a store that's maybe growing and is based in Virginia, now they want to expand into a neighboring state, whether that be Maryland or North Carolina or Pennsylvania, whatever. That's a problem because you run into the issue of licensing.
Yeah.
Yeah. In every state, the good old United States, right? Every state wants their autonomy and they want to be able to say, like, hey, you got to do it our way.
Yeah.
Right? We have our say. I don't know what the heck Virginia's doing. down here in North Carolina, we're doing it this way, type of thing.
Yeah, there's 48 other states.
And then every single one, I think you use the term Genesis 1-1. Like this is the start all over again.
In the beginning of this state, we decided we're going to do it this way.
We're doing it this way. And we're not shifting. We're not, whatever. And so, but I think that's a big holdup for a lot of construction companies because and a lot of times the solution has been historically, well, we'll just, we'll maybe pull a piece of that. So we'll be a general contractor, but we'll subcontract in the state that we're in.
Yeah.
And, sometimes that works, sometimes that doesn't, because again, anytime you bring in a subcontractor, there is that potential to lose that quality or lose that, that standard that you have. Right. And so how is Duck Soup? How are we trying, how do we kind of navigate that? How do we problem solve that thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think you're experience maybe something.
I'm in it. I'm in the middle of it for sure.
It's the same thing as everything else. Like it's just, this guy worked with him for 2-3 years. He had this great saying in the construction. He'd worked construction for probably 40 years. He said that it's a different way of doing more of the same thing. Like wood framing, metal framing, different way of doing the same thing. Like installing stuff. It's just a screw or a nail or an adhesive. Like it's just, so if you zoom that out, the same way that we solve the problem of metal studs and don't just stop at a problem, we don't turn a speed bump into a tombstone. We're going to look for the solution. So the same thing with the licensing and the permits and stuff. Like we've created the service of full service where it's framing, it's drywall, it's electrical, it's plumbing, it's all these things under one roof for speed of project, quality, cost control. And we don't want to stop with the states that we have. So we want to expand out, and it can be challenging working with a different state or county to get the proper piece of paperwork to do the proper thing. But it's a challenge that we want to take on because we're taking headache. The attempt is to take headache away from our clients so that way we can provide them a simple and easy solution, regardless of which state it's in.
Yeah, and I just love the concept because the businesses, I mean, obviously we partner with a lot of different businesses, but like there is so much of that, removing that headache of an expanding business, of a young company that's growing and doing these type of things that maybe is like, hey, I want to get a GC, but like, or I want to get this, I want to do whatever. And they're not thinking about these type of things, but we can think about this. Like, hey, here's what you're going to need if you're going to go here. Hey, guess what? We already have that license. We can take care of everything even there. So you've expanded through, you've gone through Ohio. Now we're going to go into Pennsylvania. Okay, great. We can do that as well. And it does take that step of like, it's not an easy step, but sometimes it is a simple step, right? So in this particular instance, we're talking about licenses and pulling, licenses so we can pull permits to be able to do the work in the different states. But the simple answer is like, well, we'll get a license in that state.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just a really simple answer.
It's a simple answer, but the process of that can be difficult.
Yeah.
But I think that's where it goes hand in hand with your story about going to get in the frame for this job too, as though it's like, the simple solution is where is the material?
Yeah.
Like if that's the answer, like, and then it is like, okay, well, I can do the work. I may not want to send our guys and keep them from doing the work here, but I can drive. I can go get it. I can go pick it up. I can go bring it here. And now that's kind of the thing. And so I think with licenses, it seems like that's kind of the similar concept is like, hey, let us do the work for you. We'll get everything ready up front. We'll go, hassle the red tape of this bureaucratic licensing systems, which that can be a whole nother talk where we're maybe not on lists. I don't know. Maybe when we need the therapy couch on that one. But we'll get through there. Like we'll do that. And the good thing is like, we're doing that. We have those things in place so that, we can grow and we can get there.
Yeah. I mean, I think the ideal scenario, if there were a world where it could just be nationwide, it'd be fantastic. I mean, imagine like, all right, say you sell t-shirts. And you're like, okay, if we're in Ohio and you want to sell t-shirts in Pennsylvania. Well, everyone's like, no, you can't sell t-shirts in Pennsylvania. But like, you can, but they have to be only blue or white t-shirts. And like, it's just like, you can only sell them on Thursdays or something, right? Like,
it's kind of like that thing. What is it like? You see all those safety things and it's like, California is like one of the states that like nothing is safe. Everything causes cancer.
Oh yeah,
It's like you just get orange juice, and then it says, oh, by the way, this has potentially could cause maybe some form of cancer, maybe in California.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, every state but California, maybe, but like, but yeah, some sort of national like standard, even if it's an elevated standard of like, hey, if you're going to do the nationwide standard, then it has to meet the criteria of all these states, but you can do this and then it covers everything would be ideal.
Ideal. And obviously there's problems with that. I mean, like there's nuances. So for every problem, you can find a solution. I mean, obviously the building codes can be different from Maine and Florida because of the temperatures.
Right. Sure.
Which affects so many things, from the pipes to the slope of the roofs and, so many things.
Yeah.
But you can still, I think this is theoretically possible, to have a baseline and adjust and something to streamline it. I mean, the cool thing is, like, there's some things that have NASCLA, I forget what it stands for, NASCLA is a test that a number of states accept to start the license process.
Right.
So some of those things help to streamline it. I think there's a lot of work going in that direction. So hopefully it continues. But in the meantime, it is
in the meantime, you got just the guy on the phone.
Yeah. And sometimes it's so hard to get someone on the phone to know the right form to fill out.
Yeah.
And but
we're getting there. We'll do that.
That's right.
There's a problem, we solve it.
So
we can fit 2x4s in a Chevy Cavalier if need be.
That's it.